All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bar911970. Thank you for watching this video. This will now be the 5th time that I am making this video. The NSA really is doing their job to not want this information out. It's just making it more and more determined for me to make this video happen. The first time I made the video, it had no audio. The last 4 times I made this video, it just shut down in the middle of it. So somebody might say, oh, it's your computer. I bought this laptop about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It's brand new. It ain't the computer. So with that being said, I want to talk about what I think I might have discovered from this whole government shutdown, and that I really believe it was planned, it was mutual, and they can get a lot out of it. Those who watch my channel know that I try and listen to what people say and do, and just kind of pay attention to what other meanings may be coming from them. I don't just take things at face value. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and if anything, this is nothing more than my opinion. So whether this is true or not, I can't say, because I'm not part of the government, I'm not part of any conspiracy. I'm just giving my opinion based on what I heard. Now, those of you who watch my channel know that I do not have cable TV. I haven't had it for about almost 2 years now. So I was not going to waste my money having people from the television try and program me with lies from the news media. I don't watch it. But I can get information off of YouTube. And last night, there were plenty of people out there that took actual clips of the presidential speech before the government shutdown, and I got some information out of there that I think would explain a lot of situations and why this happened. Because I'll be honest, I'm actually a little surprised the government shut down, but once you hear why I think it was done, you can understand why it was done as well. So one of the things I heard in the presidential speech last night before the shutdown was the fact that he was talking about how the economy was just starting to improve, how the housing market was starting to go up, how things were starting to get better, which you and I and the people who research this stuff know is a lie, but the average person that watches the television will believe anything they're told from a person with a suit and tie and with a Harvard degree, because they're supposed to be professionals. These very same professionals who were all saying for the past months how we were going to have that taper, how it was going to be 10 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion. The majority of people were saying, oh, there's going to be a taper. And guess what? There was no taper. So you really have to start understanding that these people are not on your side. These people make millions of dollars off of fooling people. And they're doing it over and over again. So we really need to start understanding they're not there for our best interests. Because if that's the case, why would, for example, Obamacare be so good for people, but yet the government is exempt from it? Stop and think. All right, so this, for me, suggests, as far as this government shutdown, and when the president just for a second talked about how the economy was improving, this is now the perfect opportunity for them to use the government shutdown as an excuse for all of a sudden, why the economy is tanking. They can blame it on this because, it wasn't the fact that the government's been stealing from us for years. It's not the fact that they've been overtaxing us on everything for years. It's not the fact that with those government bailouts that we had for the too big to fail corporations, that they used our tax money for, instead of building roads, bridges, and hospitals and things of that nature, they started giving all this bailout money to these too big to fail corporations, where they took the majority of the money and gave the CEOs millions of dollars worth of bonuses, and then thanked the American people by shipping all the jobs overseas. We know that they're lying to us. It's just, unfortunately, again, the average public, when they put on that television, they will believe anything that they're programmed. That's one of the reasons why the media has been bought and paid for decades ago. You control the information, you control the truth. So they can now say, oh, well, the economy is doing really bad now because of this government shutdown. Now, who can they blame this on? And this is another thing they can use this government shutdown for. They can now destroy the Tea Party. The very people who are actually trying to speak the truth and giving us a real chance to try and help this troubled economy. People like Ron Paul, his son Rand Paul, which, by the way, everybody's saying is going to be the next savior for the 2016 election, which I keep telling people, one person cannot save a corrupt system. But people will believe that. They'll think they'll be a Superman. Take a Girl Scout, put her in the middle of the mafia, and have her try and change it and see how long she survives. It doesn't matter how good a person is and how righteous a person is. They cannot change a corrupt system. But this will ultimately not even give Rand Paul a chance. because they're already saying it. I saw it in some of the news clips last night. They're already saying, oh, look what you Tea Party people are doing. You're the reason why there's this government shutdown. And you're the reason why the economy is going to go down. And you're the reason why these people are not getting paid and losing their jobs. So the longer this goes, the more hatred the general public will have for the Tea Party, because they'll think of them as evil people who actually are the ones that destroy the government, which we know is a bullshit lie, pardon my French, but now they have a perfect way to destroy the Tea Party and eliminate a potential of a third party trying to get into the corrupt two-party system. So that means the Republicans and the Democrats, it just proves that they work together. They just make it look like they're fighting, but they have the same goals. Because the last time I checked, and if you want to blame Barack Obama for everything, that's your decision. But remember, he's nothing more than a punching bag. Because the last time I checked, for anything to become a law, it has to be first created as a bill, and it has to be approved by a 2/3 majority vote of the House of Representatives and the Senate before it even gets to a president to sign. Which means there are Republicans and Democrats in the House of Representatives and the Senate that will have to have the ability to approve this stuff. So if you don't think they all work together, well, again, why are all politicians basically very well off and we're not? They're not on our side. So that's number two. The other concern I have is a pretty major concern, and I hope I'm wrong with this one. But I would expect, or let's put it this way, I would not be surprised if all of a sudden we have some terrorist attack or some cyber attack while this government shutdown is happening, and they have a perfect excuse for it. Because they can turn around and say, because of the Tea Party or because of the Republicans, we had to have this government shutdown, which limited our amount of government employees. We were vulnerable to attack. And that would be one heck of a coincidence if all of a sudden there was a false flag event that happened during this government shutdown. And the average person will believe it because they'll believe anything the media says. So even if the media says, oh, they came through the Mexican border and there were no border patrol or less border patrol, even if that's not true, the average person isn't going to research it. You and I know this. So they'll believe it. So that would be a perfect opportunity for them to have an excuse for some false flag event. Why? To continue their agenda to try and disarm the American people. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm going to keep this video short, but I'm going to talk about one other thing, and that's Lindsey Williams. Now, I made a video, if you check my last video, I was warning people about not using emotion and waiting to purchase your gold and silver. Now, ultimately, I did say January, so I wasn't expecting it this early, but then again, January hasn't happened yet, so that remains to be seen. But the point I was trying to make is, when people use emotion to get you to do something, there's a reason behind it. That's why you see TV commercials that say, act now, limited time supply, sale ends today, get them while supplies last. They want you to use your emotion so you're not stopping and thinking, processing. And instead of saying, do I really need that, you say, I want that. And instead of waiting and thinking about it, you just buy it. Now, how many things do you have in your household that you no longer use, that broke, or you sold at a yard sale for 1% of what you paid for it? The idea is to not use emotion. But Lindsey Williams was telling you in that DVD he made and sold to people, by the way, that you have to get gold before January 14th. You have to get it right away. He was using that emotion. So if you bought right after you watched that video, well, guess what? Gold right now is down about 42.5 at 1286, and silver is down 91 cents at 2078. So even though ultimately in the end, gold and silver in the physical form will protect you if there is a collapse of the dollar, you've spent more money on it. So that's why I try and warn people, don't believe everything that you hear if it's based on emotion. If you have to react right away, there's usually an agenda behind it. So that's why I always say if you have 99 pounds of crap, 99 pounds of ice cream and 1 pound of crap and mix it together, you have 100 pounds of crap. So before this video gets shut off again, I'm going to end it right here. Let me know what you think, and remember, this is just my opinion, guys. Doesn't mean I'm right, but be careful about this. They have a perfect excuse now with this government shutdown to be able to blame the economy, it's a bad situation on it, even though we know that's not true. They can blame the Tea Party, which can ultimately destroy them and end the chance of a third party ever entering the corrupt system, and also the false flag event. So let's see what happens. Interesting times. Thanks for watching. Peace.